Stop. Before you even think about buying a new MacBook Air. There's a fundamental problem brewing in Cupertino, a silent, strategic maneuver that could turn the M5 MacBook Air from a revolutionary device into a costly compromise. We were promised the undisputed champion, the thinnest, lightest, and most capable laptop ever built, powered by the incredible M5 chip. But the bad news isn't just a rumor. It's a calculated decision by Apple that will make the M5 Air an almost irrelevant machine for most users the moment it launches. You need to know this, because your wallet and your workflow are about to be put to the ultimate test. For the next 30 minutes, we are dissecting the most critical leaks, peeling back the layers of Apple's marketing veil, and revealing the chilling implications of the M5 Air's design flaws and strategic positioning. Stay with me, because the truth about the M5 MacBook Air is far darker than you imagine. The MacBook Air's success has always been its simplicity and its unbeatable value. The M-series chip took that to a dangerous new level, delivering pro-level performance in an Air-level form factor. But that was then. The first piece of bad news comes from an unavoidable collision with the Pro lineup. The M4 Pro and the freshly launched M5 Pro chips have set a new bar for memory bandwidth, core count, and sustained performance. For the M5 Air to be a significant leap over the M4 Air, it would inevitably step on the toes of the M5 Pro MacBook Pro. Apple cannot allow this. It cannibalizes their high-margin, professional machine. Therefore, the M5 Air will be artificially throttled, not just by its fanless design, but by a carefully controlled chip configuration. The rumored performance gain is significant over the M4, but when you look at the architecture, the performance jump is a carefully managed step, not the massive leap we were conditioned to expect. The bad news is you'll be paying a premium for a chip that is intentionally being held back to protect the more expensive laptops. It's a calculated business move, and the consumer pays the price. Now, let's talk about the second, and perhaps most infuriating, piece of bad news, the memory trap. The most persistent leaks, which have historically been reliable, point to Apple stubbornly sticking with an 8GB unified memory base model for the M5 Air. In 2025, with OS demands increasing, with Apple pushing local AI models that require serious memory, and with the new Mac OS demanding more resources than ever, 8GB is not just a bottleneck, it's a cynical move. It is a calculated restriction designed to force every serious user to shell out an additional $200 or more just for the industry-standard 16GB. You buy the 8GB Air, and within months, your machine is struggling with simple multitasking. The M5 Air's performance ceiling is being kept artificially low by memory scarcity, all to upsell you. This base configuration isn't merely disappointing, it's an active compromise to your productivity. This leads directly into the third piece of bad news, the price tag problem. The M5 chip is built on a new, more advanced fabrication process. This means higher cost of production. We've seen the price creeping up with every Air generation. While some reports suggest the base price might stick to the current figure, the moment you upgrade the memory, which you must do, and the storage, you are dangerously close to the entry-level MacBook Pro territory. An M5 Air, configured correctly with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, will cost well over $1,400. At that price point, you are no longer making a value-conscious choice. You're sacrificing the Pro's superior display, the Pro's active cooling, and the Pro's crucial port selection for a laptop that is merely thinner. The M5 Air risks breaking its core promise, affordability and value. It could become a luxury product disguised as an entry-level machine. Beyond performance and price, the M5 Air is facing a silent killer, the iPad Pro's evolution. The M5 iPad Pro, with its rumored M5 chip, ultra-thin tandem OLED display, and a rapidly maturing iPad OS, is now an existential threat to the Air. Apple is pouring resources into making the iPad Pro a truly desktop-class machine with deeper file management and better external display support. The bad news for the M5 Air is that it will be launched into a market where the M5 iPad Pro is a more innovative, more versatile, and visually superior product. Why buy a traditional laptop form factor with an inferior display when a tablet-laptop hybrid offers more flexibility? The M5 Air's complacency in its form factor and screen technology makes it look like yesterday's technology struggling against the dynamism of the tablet. Finally, the ports and design. We're all desperate for an SD card slot or even a third USB-C/Thunderbolt port. Leaks suggest a stubborn adherence to the minimalist, two-port design on the left side only. This is no longer a design philosophy, it's user-hostile minimalism. It means mandatory dongles. It's an immediate downgrade in pro-utility for a machine that costs this much. The leaks also suggest no revolutionary aesthetic shift. We're looking at a spec bump in a 2-generation-old chassis. Apple is relying too heavily on the silicon alone, ignoring the fact that consumers want to feel like they have a new, reimagined machine. So, what does all this bad news mean for you? It means the M5 MacBook Air is shaping up to be a product of compromise, performance held back to protect the Pro line, a price tag that destroys its Air value proposition, and a form factor that is being challenged by its own sibling, the M5 iPad Pro. The final verdict is this: the M5 Air is not going to be a bad machine. It will be a good machine, with a bad price and a crippling base configuration. Your action plan is simple: do not buy the M5 Air on day one. Wait for the comprehensive benchmarks. Wait for the inevitable price drops on the older M4 Pro models, which offer more performance, superior ports, and better displays for a potentially similar, correctly configured M5 Air price. The biggest trap Apple wants you to fall into is paying full price for a product that is designed to be just good enough to push you toward the more expensive, Pro, category. Be smarter than their strategy.